Brief, but I thought it was important for me to come here. I'm the city manager here in the city of Chelsea, and true, that is sort of just like being a mayor. Some of you may know me. I used to be the mayor in the city of Revere. I've been here in Chelsea now for about a year and a half, and I've been spending the last week in this city calming a lot of fears. This is a city made up of a lot of immigrants, many of whom are undocumented, many of whom have been very afraid about some of the rhetoric that was spewed in this most recent presidential election. And so I've spent a lot of the last week since that election trying to bring at least some words of comfort to people who are a bit nervous. And so I thought it was important to come to this community because I wanted to share the same simple message. So, believe me, no one was more disappointed in this presidential election than I was. But nonetheless, this is a democracy and we live with the results. But what I want to make sure you folks in this community know is that the election on November 8th changed nothing in the city of Chelsea. Before the election, the city of Chelsea was a welcoming community. We have never cared and did not care about your documentation status, your country of origin, your religious affiliation. We cared about making your life better. We wanted you part of our community, and we wanted to ensure that we did everything possible to ensure that you could, in America, build a better life for your families. That was true on November the 7th. That remains true after November the 8th. That did not change at all. Chelsea still is a welcoming community. We still do not care about your country of origin, your religious affiliation, your documentation status. We welcome everyone to this city. As long as you're here to work hard for your family and for yourself, we want you to be part of our city. And that did not change by virtue of the election on November 8th. The other thing I want to say to you is that the city of Chelsea takes very seriously hate crimes. We aggressively go after anyone who engages in crimes. We aggressively will go after anyone who engages in crimes against people or property because of a person or family's race or religious background or country of origin. We will not tolerate that in the city of Chelsea. And this is just not coming from me. It's true of the police chief and the entire law enforcement in the city of Chelsea. Let me say one final thing, just to try to bring some comfort to, I'm sure, a community that is a little bit nervous. Keep in mind that most of the things that impact your daily lives, most of the laws that impact your day-to-day existence, and this is true of me as well, most of the laws that impact me and you day-to-day are not laws that come from Washington, D.C. Very little of our lives is directly impacted by what comes from Washington, D.C. Most of what impacts you on a daily basis are laws that are created locally. Laws in the city of Chelsea, laws that are created in Boston by our state. And those laws, all of those laws are governed by a state constitution that is very, very protective of people's rights and privileges. The Massachusetts state constitution is in many respects far stronger and far better than the federal constitution and provides much more in the way of protection. And so you don't have anything to fear living in Chelsea or living in this Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This is a welcoming state. You're welcome within the state, and you are most certainly welcome in the city of Chelsea. Now, it is true that one set of laws that is dictated by Washington are immigration laws. laws that impact people who have come to this country and were not born here. And unfortunately, I cannot control locally changes in immigration laws. And I'm not an immigration lawyer, so I don't know all the intricacies of that current law, nor the impacts of changes in that law. What I can say is this: the city of Chelsea is not going to tolerate anything that is contrary to the values that I grew up with and the values of this state. Undemocratic things like mass deportation or registrations, I won't tolerate it. I will go to the State House and advocate. I will go on TV against it. I will engage in civil disobedience against it. You don't have to worry about those un-American things happening here in the city of Chelsea, because the leadership in the city of Chelsea will not tolerate that. So I hope that this message, which really is just a message of comfort, a message to let you know nothing has changed in this city as a result of that election. You are as welcomed here today as you were before the election and when you first arrived here in Chelsea. And I certainly hope you feel that way. And if anyone in this room, a family member, a friend of yours not here, ever feels that they are being subject to some crime because of your religious background or your country of origin, you bring that to the attention of myself or my police chief, and I can assure you, you have my personal guarantee that we will take aggressive action against the perpetrators of that. You have nothing to fear living in the city of Chelsea.